Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the SmackDown Live Recap here on Pro Wrestling Sheet. I'm your host, John Rocha, joined as always by the editor-in-chief of Pro Wrestling Sheet and the guy who started it all, Ryan Satin. How are you, man?
It's me. I'm doing great. Thank you for asking.
Nice shirt.
This is a cool shirt, right?
The Nasty Boys.
I got this from Homage. Shout out to Homage. Great website, great store, web store, whatever. Cool company. I love their stuff. So yeah, when I saw this one, I have a cool Bushwhackers one I got too. I needed I needed to re-up my Homage game. So yeah, go check them out. Good stuff.
Right on. Are you sure it's not a heavy machinery one, or are you sure it's a Bushwhackers one?
Yeah, no, it's a Bushwhackers one. Although I wish they had a heavy machinery shirt. I'd probably get it.
That's for sure. Well,
they don't have one, right? No, they don't.
I don't think so. Okay, let's jump into it. SmackDown Live. How was it? Did you enjoy it? Did you like it? Did you like the twists and turns?
It's all right.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, I loved Raw this week.
Right.
And I don't think it was as good as Raw. I don't think. I think that, I don't know, some of it was, kind of just felt a little forced. Not forced, just felt like a little, like, not special, a lot of it. In my opinion, there was some good matches.
There were.
Really good matches.
Yes.
But yeah,
Is Bischoff in charge?
He's there. He's working on stuff. I think from what I've heard, I think it's like Pritchard and Bischoff who are kind of working side by side when it comes to SmackDown.
Okay. Did Vince rewrite this one?
From what I heard, I think so. I don't know if it was like it wasn't like tearing up the whole script kind of thing. But I think Triple H kind of was like leading the charge yesterday because things went kind of haywire. I don't know. That's what kind of one of the things I heard.
Interesting. All right. Well, let's jump into it. Randy Orton starts us off fresh off his destruction of Kofi and the New Day. There doing his thing. Eventually teases or he makes fun of Kofi's family, and Kofi runs out, and they have a whole thing. Did you enjoy this promo and this back and forth with them?
Yeah, I did actually. I thought Randy did a really good job of just being a total asshole.
Yeah.
He did a really good job of it.
He took his time.
Yeah, he did it slow with it, and he was just, some of the things he said within it, I appreciate. I liked. I enjoyed it. I was just kind of like, that asshole kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I liked that. I feel like he's very much playing like the elder statesman here of like the top dog, the vet, and I like everything they've been doing with it. Okay. I feel like Kofi tricking him by coming from behind was good because we haven't really seen Kofi have to resort to like underhanded tactics to get one up on someone. Usually he's like going to come face to face with you. And I liked that Kofi kind of had to dig deep a little bit to kind of like lower himself to Randy's level in order to defeat the Viper. I kind of like that. I still like the rival are involved.
Yep, they rolled in there.
Adjacently with New Day and Randy Orton. I thought the opening was great.
Yeah, it was good excitement to start a SmackDown.
People who listen to Wrestling Sheet Radio, at least the early days of Wrestling Sheet Radio, I don't harp on it as much, but people know that I am very anti sleeveless hoodie.
Oh,
I don't like sleeveless hoodies. They're silly to me.
Wait, what?
They're just silly to me.
So wait a minute.
What's the point of wearing a hoodie if it doesn't have sleeves?
Ska is cool, but
wait, what?
Sleeves, what'd you say? What was that? Ska? What is that? Ska?
Ska's awesome. Yeah.
Ska's awesome, but somehow
Ska's a type of music, not one stupid sleeve.
Sleeveless hoodies were essentially the ska of the fashion world. You don't like it.
That literally didn't make sense what you just said there.
I'm telling you, it's the ska of the fashion world.
No, I mean
sleeveless hoodies.
Sleeveless hoodies serve no purpose.
They're fun.
No, they serve no
purpose. They're enjoyable.
But they're not enjoyable. To who? You got one?
To the people who wear them. I love vests.
I didn't say anything about vests.
It's essentially a vest with a hood.
It's not the same thing. The point of a hoodie is for warmth. The whole point of a sweatshirt is warmth.
Okay.
When you get rid of the sleeves, what is the point of wearing it?
Some people get cold in different parts of their body.
Oh, don't give me that shit that your chest is more cold than your arms.
It can be.
Oh my God, one of the stupidest things I've ever heard.
Oh God,
my leg is cold, but my arm is hot.
You gotta live a little bit more, man. You gotta talk to people. My girlfriend's feet are always colder than the rest of her body. It drives me insane. This is how it works for some people. Some areas of their body.
If she was walking around in a bikini wearing socks, I'd say it was stupid too.
What about Uggs? Is she okay to wear Uggs?
In a bikini?
In a bikini? Don't be talking about my girlfriend in a bikini. No, I'm just
Uggs in a bikini.
Because snow bunnies make that work.
If it's like a photo shoot that you're rolling around like snow bunny status, that's one thing.
All right.
If you're at the beach in your bikini,
right,
wearing Uggs, and you're like, well, my feet get cold. I'm going to think it's stupid.
Now, who's wearing the sleeveless hoodie in this situation? Randy, right?
Randy Orton wears the sleeveless hoodie. Yes.
So he's trying to make
I don't think he wears the sleeveless hoodie to piss everyone off, because only I have this anger towards sleeveless hoodies, and I don't think he's wearing it just to make me angry.
There might be a strong contingent of people who feel this way. So maybe you're not alone. Maybe there's a strong but vocal minority of people against sleeveless hoodies.
Yeah,
Hashtag.
Maybe, I don't know. Because it definitely got heat with me while I was sitting there watching. I was thinking like,
Kofi wears sleeveless stuff. Doesn't he wear?
Sleeveless stuff is different than a sleeveless hoodie.
Version? I feel like he's got a hoodie version of it.
Here's the difference.
It's more like dynamic.
The AJ Styles thing is like a vest with
AJ,
a hood.
Right.
The Kofi thing is a vest with a hood.
Oh.
This is a zip-up hoodie.
So your issue is
that you have removed the sleeves from.
Right. Well, because your arms are so big, they don't fit in the sleeves anymore.
Then wear a vest. What's the hood part for? The hood is to stop you from being cold.
Maybe your head's colder than your arms.
His head isn't cold when he's coming out to the ring. Look how jacked that man is.
Fair enough.
My little Orton ears are cold. No. Wear a cool vest. I don't know. He's going to punch me in the face if he ever sees that.
He probably will.
No,
why are you causing shit with other wrestlers?
No, it's literally the dumbest, my dumbest pet peeve. I don't know.
Fair enough.
It's a bodybuilder thing. A lot of bodybuilders do it.
They do.
The guys who are buff all do it, probably.
Because they can't fit their arms in their sleeves.
It's because they want to show off their cool muscles, which I understand.
Yeah, I would too.
I would too.
If I had muscles like that.
But I would just wear like a tank top.
You'd wear a medium shirt?
Probably.
I hate those medium shirts. They drive
I'd
me
wear that
nuts.
instead of a sleeveless hoodie.
Really? What about sleeveless shirt?
The only time sleeveless shirt's fine.
Oh,
sleeveless
that's
shirt's fine.
Okay.
It's the hoodie, because you don't wear a shirt for the cold sake. Like, you can wear a sleeveless hoodie because you want to be out in public and you want to be a little more warm. You don't have to wear the hoodie. It's not cool. If you're not cold, don't wear a hoodie.
Nike makes sleeveless hoodies. All I can tell you is...
No, I'm aware that sleeveless hoodies are made, and I don't like it.
Okay, fair enough. All right.
Do you want me to call Nike now?
No, I can't. If you can get through, good power to you. But apparently Kingston didn't like it either, because he ends up hitting him in the back of the head with a chair. He didn't like sleeveless hoodies either, and then walks out of the ring. Randy does escape eventually, and that's that. I think this was a great way to put another chapter into this rivalry, because Monday night, we saw what happened between them, and Randy had gotten the best of them, and the Revival as well. So for Kofi to get the best of them by himself, I thought was interesting as well.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely. I think that they did a good job of adding the Revival to this, and this new direction they're going has done a great job of extending this feud. Because I think everyone was a little bummed that it didn't end at SummerSlam like we wanted it to, because it would have been a good kind of like notch on Kofi's belt, but they're doing a great job of extending it.
Does this lead into a possible Survivor Series between these guys? Because 3-on-3, you would need a couple.
I don't know. We still got Clash Champions, and that's still October. So
all right. That's true.
Let's focus on Clash Champions.
We've seen the Revival jump around in terms of their allegiance. You
thought they were going to be in a stable with Shane McMahon not that long ago.
And Drew and Elias, which was totally ready made in my opinion. All right, let's move on. King of the Ring. I don't know if you know this is happening, but it's back. King of the Ring. The tournament started on Monday night with 2 matches there. Tonight we get a match starting off here.
Was this not the Kevin Owens thing first that came next?
Well, you want to talk about that?
Was that not next?
I thought it was after this match. But if you want to talk about it now, talk about it now.
No, I just don't remember. If you have it in your notes for later.
No, do it. Well, Kevin Owens. So what'd you think?
I hated it.
Oh, wow.
Did you like it?
It's okay. But
him and Shane?
Yeah, it was okay. Because him lifting the sanctions and everything like that is what we talking about?
Yeah, kind of.
Saying that if you hit another official, you're going to be fired or whatever.
It's just...
But they laid the groundwork for it last week with that $100,000 fine.
I know, but
which you didn't like already.
Well, it's not even that. It's just... If you want... I don't know what character they're trying to present to us now with Kevin Owens. That's what confuses me.
That's fair.
Is he badass anti-authority figure, or is he a guy who's everyday man that can't afford to lose money?
Right.
That needs to do it for something. I don't know. And they were going one direction, and now it seems like they're going another. Like, why him coming and apologizing and asking for help, like, oh, Shane, and like offering to shake McMahon's hand. I just was like...
Yeah, it kind of undercut what they've
been doing with him.
Yeah, I don't disagree. And remember, I mentioned this last week that I don't understand why you would take a rebellious guy and then put him in a situation where you're cutting down his rebellion instead of playing into the rebellion. Look, if you're going to use a Stone Cold, like he drove a beer truck into the middle of next to the ring and bathed his boss in beer.
And maybe they're trying to
he attacked him in a hospital room, for God's sake.
I watched Me, Myself, and Irene over the weekend.
Oh, great film.
I love that movie.
It's a quietly guilty pleasure.
It's mine too. That's why I made my girlfriend watch it over the weekend because she'd never seen it. Yeah. Although, could never be made in 2019. Incredibly un-PC when I watched it.
Full-on fallopian fungus. Yeah, go ahead.
Part of the movie. I'm glad that everyone loves that part of the movie. Oh, man. I love that part. We got a price check. But I was watching that, and, the reason I was watching it is because I was in this mood where sometimes I let everything just go by. I let everything go because I'm like, I'll be the bigger man. I gotta be the bigger man. I gotta be the bigger man. And it gets tough and you just build it all up, and it was starting to get to me to where I was just like, ugh. So I was like, I'm gonna go watch myself and Irene and live vicariously through Hank, but maybe that's not obviously inspired by Me, Myself, and Irene, but maybe that's what they're trying to get to here with Kevin Owens of where they want to show you that they want to make it believable that he's hit that breaking point to where he really doesn't care about everything, about his family, where he really is rebelling against everyone. Because personally, I felt like it should have ended at SummerSlam like it looked like it was going to, and then move him on to someone else, let him rebel against someone else, let him fight with someone else, let him be a dick to someone else, let him do his thing that people are enjoying with someone else, instead of prolonging this Shane McMahon thing that I don't think people are really into.
No, I don't think so either. And like I said, if you're gonna go that route and gonna get people into it, then to me you have to make it believable that he keeps finding a way out of these loopholes through these restrictions that Shane puts him in.
Correct.
He's got to be smarter. That's what made Stone Cold and McMahon work so well, is that Stone Cold was always that little bit smarter.
He was one step ahead of Vince always.
Even at a half a step.
Even when Vince thought that he was a step ahead, he wasn't.
He wasn't, right? And he always found a way around it. And so I think that's important overall. Even like with Shawn Michaels getting Tyson turning on him in that matchup that they had at WrestleMania. So that kind of stuff matters. And so to have Kevin Owens kind of be behind instead of ahead, it doesn't help things.
And almost subservient to him.
Right.
Are we cool?
Unless this is leading to some massive thing.
Fair. Which is why I'm hoping that maybe it is. Maybe it's a King of the Ring thing. But he lost. Though. Fuck. You're right. I hope that's where it's going. It's just, to me, they didn't show that in any way.
Right.
They could have. There could have been an underlying thing there, but it didn't look that way. It looked like he genuinely wanted to be cool with Shane, and then Shane was like, no, and he was like, oh, okay, and left. I never got the vibe that this was he was mind ninjaing Shane McMahon. I never got that vibe. If anything, I got the vibe that he's like, shit, I don't have $100,000.
Right, and I think that's what's dangerous here, because once again, to make that comparison with Stone Cold, people loved that Stone Cold thing because they hated their bosses.
Yes.
And so if you're going to bring
why that worked.
Exactly. And if you're going to bring it back in 2019 and make the boss even more of a dick and more powerful, it doesn't make the storyline interesting. It makes the storyline way too real.
Yeah.
That you can't get away with doing these kinds of things. Your boss will fire you at a moment's notice.
Well, like I just said, I was in a really bad mood then last week.
Yeah.
And I had to go live vicariously through Jim Carrey as Hank because I can't do that. I have to still be the bigger man. I can't develop an alternate personality that starts going off on everyone in the office. I can't do that.
And
that's why I love that movie, because I was like, that's hilarious. That someone finally can't take it anymore, and he does all this wild stuff.
Right.
Why everyone likes Stone Cold? It was like everyone wishes they could flip off their boss and assault him, but you can't, because you got to work. You have to work. You can't afford a $100,000 fine,
right?
Which is why I don't think that we want to see the guy who would be in the same way as this, being like, no, I'm sorry, being neutered.
Yeah.
You want to see the guy who shoves that $100,000 fine down his boss's face, or throat, or whatever.
Or has someone come up and go, I'll pay that $100,000 fine. You do your thing.
Yeah,
someone like that.
Yeah, or who literally $100,000 shit that. That's the kind of guy you're like, so I don't know.
That's the way around.
That's the way around it. You go, look, I make that in one merch check. There you go. Boom. That's why people love The Rock.
He's friends with Shania. Come on.
Totally. And that's why people love The Rock.
Exactly.
That was The Rock's way of doing it. He was always above oh, cool, I wear $100,000 shirts.
Yeah.
The Rock was saying he wore $100,000 shirts.
Exactly. It's true.
So, you know what I mean? It's a scripted environment.
Yeah.
And to me, that makes the character seem like he's me as
Yeah.
opposed to the guy I wish I could be.
Right, exactly. Yeah, exactly. You want to live vicariously through them.
Yes.
It's a great point. All right, so now we move on to the King of the Ring match here. Apollo Crews taking on Andrade. This was a damn good match.
Fantastic.
Right?
Oh, so good.
These are both guys who came through the NXT stuff. Of course, they'd made their bones other places in independent wrestling organizations, but they were shown really highlighted at NXT. So to see them get a little chance to kind of spread their wings, have a little fun, this was great.
Yeah, it was great to see them get so much time. I'm almost wondering if the reason they brought the King of the Ring back was less of we need something to do with someone like whoever's gonna win.
Right.
We need something to do with them.
Right.
To me, it's not feeling that way right now. To me, it's feeling like they wanted to have a reason to have cool competitive matches because all of them have been pretty good so far. They've all they've given them all some time. They let them do their thing in the ring.
Yep.
Andrade and Apollo, they went.
Yeah, they put on a great match. Good back and forth, good spots, good twists and turns, near falls that were really close both ways. I loved it.
I like that. It was random, but I really like that drop kick from Apollo when Andrade came off the top rope and he did a twisting drop kick thing. There was that cool spot where Apollo caught Andrade in the powerbomb.
Yeah.
On the outside, but then he still got Hurricane Rana. Good stuff all around. I mean, obviously the right person won here.
Yeah.
I think
Andrade
the right person
has to win.
Andrade has to win. I think Andrade should go to the finals.
Now you think Andrade is going to go to the finals?
not that I think-
now that Owens is out? We had this whole thing with Owens.
Well, now that Owens is out, I think Andrade should be in the finals.
Okay.
I think my hunch is that it'll end up being like Baron Corbin, so you maybe need a face on the other side. But I think Andrade should be. Cause think of how dope Cedric Alexander versus Andrade would be.
Yeah.
Or I don't know, or Ricochet and Andrade or something like that. So
that would be awesome.
So yeah, I really he's starting to. I'm starting to feel like maybe it should be Andrade.
Okay.
That he wins this. And then he really has something to say with the Rey Mysterio thing.
Right.
That he's like, no, I'm the king. Follow the king, Dominic.
Yeah, El Rey, maybe, yeah.
Even though they're on different shows, so who knows?
Right.
I think there's going to be a shakeup, like I said. I think there'll be another shakeup before the Fox thing starts. So,
okay, all right.
But yeah, really good match. I mean,
Does this help Apollo Crews?
I think so. Okay. I think that Apollo really, they were doing nothing with him.
Yeah, true.
And lately, they've been at least putting him in matches. They've been doing something with him.
Yeah.
Apollo's a great talent. I think that he just needs to be used. I think that, especially being just kind of rarely used as much as he was.
Yeah.
I think he'd kind of fallen out of sight, out of mind with the audience. So I think that seeing competitive matches like this is reminding the WWE universe, so to speak, of what he's capable of.
Right.
And I feel like he's going to get a good push soon. I think that they're just kind of reacclimating us to Apollo Crews lately, and I like it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Does that sound right?
Yeah, it absolutely sounds right, yeah. All right, let's move on to Moment of Bliss. I love Alexa Bliss. It's always good to get these Moment of Bliss. I know Ryan hates them, but she comes out.
Do you genuinely enjoy when you see there's going to be an episode, a segment of Moment
Ryan
of Bliss?
Satin, I enjoy anything Alexa Bliss does. Okay? I even watch all her Insta stories when she's dancing around Disneyland. I don't care. Her hair extension appointments, I watch all those videos. The tattoos, getting the nails done, I don't care.
What tattoos?
Anything she does. She had a new tattoo put on. Oh my God, I sound like a terrible groupie. But yeah, anything Alexa
When was
Bliss
this?
does. A couple of weeks ago, or something like that.
All right.
And she gave a preview of what the tattoo was going to look like, and then had it done. So there you go. So yeah, she's always doing her thing, and I'm all about her empowerment message. I like that she's figuring herself out at post breakup and going through her process. So all power to her. So if she's going to host,
Does she talk about those things?
She doesn't talk about it, but you get the reference.
Okay.
You get the reference.
Okay.
But yeah,
Rocha reads between the lines.
Yeah, well, you live long enough, you can figure things out. Remember, she's a woman in her 20s. So
yeah.
So anyway, she hosted this Moment of Bliss with Charlotte Flair. I don't think Charlotte Flair has ever been on Moment of Bliss that I can recall.
Now that I remember.
And I thought this was maybe one of the best ones because Charlotte brings the fire whenever she does anything. She elevates it. And so this was fun to have them do their back and forth. And then Bayley comes out and they have an interaction. And, Charlotte kind of pushes back on this idea of Bayley. She almost denigrates the fact that Bayley's champion, that almost agreeing with you that the belt is a prop because she's the one going to red carpet events and movie premieres and doing the interviews, not Bayley, which is a bit of a shot, like a hard shot. And I was surprised by that, but Bayley said, yeah, you can do all that shit. I'm over here to be a wrestler and a champion. So I like that. And then eventually, of course, Bayley issues the challenge, and then they agree to the challenge, and then Bayley dumps her out of the chair. Did you like all this? It wasn't long.
It wasn't long.
Yeah.
I didn't dislike it.
Okay.
The stuff you were talking about, you might be the champion, but I'm the one who's the forefront of it. It was almost reminiscent of like a CM Punk John Cena thing, where it was like when CM Punk was champion, John Cena was still the focus of everything.
Sure,
you know,
course,
yeah, cool, we gave you the belt so you wouldn't complain, and the fans would think that we're giving you something, but like we're still focusing on John Cena. And that kind of has been what's been going on with Charlotte. Like Charlotte, she might not be the champion, but she still had the top program. Like she's still the focus. She's still, all that stuff, which deservedly so.
Well, of course.
She's great.
Yeah.
So I liked all this. It was very like, I like when they blend reality with fiction. These are real things that are happening. She is the one they're sending out a red carpet. She is the one they send to ESPN. She is the one that they want to have the focus on because they have a lot of stock in her. They've invested a lot in they're in the Charlotte business, Charlotte Flair business. So I liked all that. I thought it was interesting. I thought it was entertaining. Bayley's promo was good. Bayley's part of things.
Oh yeah, Bayley was great.
She showed that this is what I want to be doing type stuff. The part where she shoved Charlotte, it almost reminded me of like a Napoleon Dynamite like move where it was like a God, and then like ran away type thing, like something you do to like your older brother or sister or whatever, where it's like hey, you have to shirt, like run away as fast as possible. So that made me laugh.
And Charlotte didn't do anything. She didn't chase after her or anything. She just kind of sat there being angry.
Which I like that Charlotte's been doing that lately, where it's almost like it's like what's is that Happy Gilmore? Not Happy Gilmore.
Billy Madison?
Billy Madison when Steve Buscemi has like the list of people he wants to kill. That's like what I picture in Charlotte's facial reactions every time that's been happening. Like first it was with Trish, where Trish like slapped her, and instead of attacking, it was like all right, manifested that, locked that right here, put the lipstick on, you're done, mother effer. No. That's for you, Scott Satin. That didn't cuss. But that's the vibe I've gotten with her when she does that. And I love it. It's like you're gonna regret that. I'm gonna make you regret that.
So Charlotte's back in the title picture.
Yes. It makes sense because of 2K22.
Are we excited?
I am.
To have her back in this.
Only because, I don't know about excited, but like, who else? Is there someone else that you think would have deserved to be in that spot right now?
Right now, the way they've built people up, no.
Yeah.
Because Ember could be, but they haven't. Naomi could be, but they haven't.
A title shot.
Right. And Naomi could be, but they haven't.
Fair.
But they haven't built these people up.
Isn't Naomi on Raw now?
Is she?
She is. That's how little they use her.
Yeah, I don't remember sometimes.
I think she's on the thing for Raw.
Okay, she's on the thing for Raw.
I think she's on Raw now. I think she was moved to Raw.
Fair enough. I think Mandy could have been positioned for this possibility.
Because the Usos would move to Raw.
Oh, that's right. So Mandy could have been angled for this possibility, but they're focused on the team thing. Mm-hmm. They had been building her up solo. By the way, remember that lesbian storyline? Where the hell did that go?
I don't know.
Exactly, because it was dumb from the beginning. Please stop doing those lesbian storylines. They're dumb. Not that lesbians are dumb. The storylines are dumb.
Sonya is the one pushing for it, though. So.
Is she really?
She did an interview like that I just talked about, where she said she's trying to push for more.
LGBTQ type storylines?
Yep.
All right. I see the logic in that. I don't want it with a straight person, because that implies the old stereotypes.
There's only one lesbian in WWE right now.
That we know of.
Okay. They should be outing someone on the program.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that the old tropes of like that play into the idea of, I'm a straight person. That gay guy or gay girl, they're always trying to, they're into me. And it's like, well, no, that's not how this works. So anyway, that's my point of view. I walked in that minefield unknowingly. All right, let's move on.
I was like, I'm going to go on my phone. I don't need to get into this.
We're going to cut that out, I think. Buddy Murphy, all right, taking on Daniel Bryan. Whoo, doggy, was this a match? Daniel Bryan deserves a special plaque in the Hall of Fame for doing it right from day one. This guy got the opportunity with Nexus, did his thing, got known, came back, somehow became a fan favorite with the Yes stuff, got those titles, overcame all those obstacles, retired because of a neck injury, came back, had made it work for a little bit, had to push through a couple of bad story programs, but then got there again, and now he's putting talent over, and that's incredible.
Even when he came back, those storylines that you were referring to that maybe weren't the greatest that
but
he
he was putting them over.
He was still putting people over.
Yep.
Big Cass.
Yep, Big Cass.
Bludgeon Brothers.
Right.
Kofi Kingston.
Yep.
Ali. Buddy Murphy.
Even
now.
the Miz stuff being caught out by Miz. Yeah.
It is. I'm so glad you hit on that right from the jump because. A lot of times you hear about guys who don't want to put people over. Oh, I should be winning, blah, blah. And you can tell that Daniel Bryan is like, I already made it.
Yep.
I have reached that status that I wanted to. And now I'm just on time I never thought I was going to have.
Yeah.
So instead of using that for me, which I'm still going to have cool things that I enjoy, I'm going to use the credit that I've built in this industry to help make the stars of tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like that's what he's been doing. I mean, you even heard that when he Ali did that interview where the reason he got the match against Daniel Bryan is because Daniel Bryan went into the writer's room and said, I'm tired of wrestling all these old people that have been in the company forever. Give me someone new. Give me someone fresh. Like, who do you want? Well, give me someone from 205 Live. And they gave him Ali. Yeah. So it's like, he is pushing for these things. He put Kofi Kingston over in the main event of WrestleMania in a huge way that has been that is huge for Kofi Kingston sure forever. And I know that it was scripted, it's a thing that he had to do, but Daniel Bryan makes all those people look so good. I mean, the way everything he puts into it, we gained from it, and this was it. This was one of those moments where it's like, man, look what he did for Buddy Murphy here. He made like Roman Reigns had a star-making performance with Buddy Murphy last week, no question about it.
Absolutely,
and it got Buddy Murphy in people's eyes and in people's awareness. But this match last night on SmackDown really took Buddy Murphy to a level of he's on the level of top guys now. He's beating Daniel Bryan. He can go in the ring with Roman Reigns.
He was close to beating Roman Reigns a couple times. Yeah,
I mean that's a huge thing. I mean I know that Ali was kind of in that sphere. Not too long ago, but he unfortunately the injuries that he suffered did push him back down the card. So at least they're trying with someone else now to do that. And Buddy Murphy is one of the guys to do that with.
Yeah. I think they sense they don't have the same fire the fans do for Ali like they did when he was doing his run. So unfortunately, timing is the way. It doesn't mean you can't come back. Many wrestlers have kind of missed their window and then find their way back slowly. Look at Kofi's a great example of that, who had been so great as a mid-carder for years and had his shot, and then 10 years later now he is a champion and one of the longest current reigning champions. So that's great.
Well, let's hope it doesn't take 11 years for Ali to get back.
No, but I'm saying,
I know what you mean. Exactly. You're right on the money. Absolutely. And I do fear that they're going to be turning Ali heel soon.
Yeah.
It seems like everyone's starting to get into Buddy Murphy, and I bet you they're going to have Ali almost be jealous of I was the one you guys were supposed to care about. You were behind me.
I wonder if Ziggler has to let that go if Ali's going to take it.
That's true.
Right?
You want to sound like
two storylines of
it should have been me. No, it should have been me.
It should have been both of us. Let's team up. All right. Anyway, this was so good from pillar to post. This was a fantastic match. I'm not going to get into the nuance, the separate section of the match. It was just fantastic. It was great to see so much of both of them being given into the match, and I was shocked, but also pleasantly shocked that Bryan took the loss.
Me too.
Right? Because he doesn't need to take the loss. He doesn't need the victory either, but he doesn't need to take the loss. But on the heels of the Roman Reigns near victory, for Buddy to get this victory and Bryan to be okay with this just speaks volumes about the character of him and about what they want to do with Buddy.
Yeah, I thought he was going to take him to the limit, and then Rowan was going to interfere or something, and then we were going to have to Buddy was going to have to work to get to Daniel again, and maybe get that match against Daniel. But the fact that when he hit his finisher, I looked at my girlfriend. I said, "Oh, he's not going to beat Daniel Bryan." And then it was 2, 3. I went, "What?
Yeah,
they had to beat Daniel Bryan? That's huge. That's a big deal."
Yeah, agreed. Do you think this was a accident, like the Daniel Bryan push that was organic, or do you think that they want to push Buddy?
It's a good question. This is just my guess. I don't know. Honestly, my guess is that this is just lucky circumstance.
Yeah.
I think that he happened to be there when they were filming that segment, maybe.
Or maybe.
Although it seems like it'd be weird for him to happen to be there, but
yeah, maybe put himself there.
That's a great, honestly, it's a great question.
I wonder.
I'm going to say it was intentional.
Okay.
I'm going to say it was all intentional. That, they hadn't been using him for a while since he'd been brought up.
I would love to know whose idea it was.
Yeah, me too.
Was it Bischoff's? Was it Vince's? Was it Pritchard's? Whose idea was it to give, if this was an intentional push, whose idea was it and what did they see in Buddy? Because Buddy hadn't really, in 205, yes, but he hadn't really kind of captured the imaginations and stuff. So to see him have this opportunity and step up to it, pretty incredible.
I think that the Roman Reigns thing was always the plan. Give him a shot with Roman Reigns.
Right.
And I think that he impressed enough people with that Roman Reigns match where they were like...
That's what I wonder. Do you think they saw the Roman Reigns match and they had already had the scheduled Daniel Bryan match and then were like, no, let's see what you could do with a longer match with Bryan and give you the victory and see what happens?
I don't think the Daniel, if my guess,
yeah,
I think the Daniel Bryan match was not planned already. That he did so well against Roman Reigns
that they
were like, man, people were really into that. Let's see what he's got against Daniel Bryan.
Okay,
and it wouldn't surprise me if Daniel's like, hey, we should put him over. Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me,
dude. What that's like. You wrestle an incredible match one night and then you just get thrown. Hey, you're going to have to wrestle Daniel Bryan.
That's the entertainment industry.
Yeah, true. Good point.
You have one real good showing and it changes your career.
You got to step up. That's true. That's very true, actually.
I was listening to Rob Riggle I was watching Rob Riggle on Stone Cold Steve Austin's new show on USA, what's it called? Straight Up Steve Austin, I think it's called, or something like that. But he was, Stone Cold asked him, he said, you're always kind of like that, asshole jock kind of guy in movies. And he was like, well, the thing about Hollywood, because he asked, why is that? And he was like, well, the thing about Hollywood is if you do something really good once, they're literally going to have you, they're going to come calling, asking you to do that a million times and you just have to figure out which one's the right one to do. But he was like, that once you do something like that correctly once in Hollywood, everyone wants you for it because you did it well then, you can do it well again, and you're going to fit that thing, and so I think the same thing goes in wrestling to a certain degree. Also, I'm going to write it today.
Okay.
But you will love this.
Okay.
Because Alistair Black wasn't on the show last night,
no,
right?
He was
so I
not.
don't have time to bring it up then. You know how you and I have been talking about what's the guy you interviewed? Who we talked about, he's got a book for character, he's got character notes or whatever.
Frank Grillo.
Frank Grillo. And we were saying that wrestlers should have that, where they know their character so well that they have a whole character Bible. I was listening to Alistair Black on the Swerve City podcast, which is hosted by an NXT wrestler named Isaiah Scott. And they were talking to Alistair Black about his character, and he talked for maybe 15 minutes about his interpretation of the character, his interpretation of why he's doing that room thing, and how he has a book where he has basically a full character Bible on who Alistair Black is, why he does what he does, every single detail about that character that he fills up, that he adds to after matches, that he's like, while I was in the match, I realized, Alistair Black does that, and writes it down, so he so it's remembered that's part of Alistair Black's character, and he's got a whole character Bible, which I was fascinated by because I've never heard of a wrestler doing that. And that's totally that's 100% a method acting thing, and I loved it. His reasoning for the room stuff, I was like, all right, cool. It was basically him saying that his interpretation of it, and it was a 10-minute discussion, so I'm gonna have to truncate it here, but basically his interpretation was that Alistair Black wants someone to put him out of his misery. That he is a tortured soul that basically wants to die. Okay. He didn't use the words death because he can't say really, but that was kind of what it was implied, that he wants to die. That he's like that. He's on the edge of that. And that the reason he's doing that is because he's calling someone out, hoping that someone will be man enough to step up to put him out of his misery, basically. And I was like, that's pretty good. Yep. That's pretty good. That kind of matched with the whole boatman thing that we had laughed about. I thought it was really interesting. I was going to post it on the site today, I think. It's really interesting.
That's fascinating. Okay, that's cool. I like that. It means it's progressing to the next level.
I thought that was super cool, only we've talked about it a couple times on here now.
Didn't have no book. I like that it's progressing to that level. All right, you know what we've said on the show many, many times. We like tag teams to get legitimate competition. Well, Heavy Machinery got themselves some legitimate competition against the Revival, which we had seen earlier in the night in the Randy Orton, Kofi Kingston segment. This was a good match. Well, how can I say this? This was a decent match. Wasn't anything to write home about, but certainly you saw the skills of all four men come into play here, and then eventually the Revival do get the victory. Did they need this victory after the last couple of weeks? And does this take any shine off Heavy Machinery?
Honestly, I was happy to see Heavy Machinery again. I feel like they haven't been on TV a little bit lately, I felt like. So I was mainly just happy to see Heavy Machinery again.
Yeah.
I don't think they lose anything by it. I mean, Revival, former tag team champions. They're one of the top tag teams in WWE.
Sure.
So no, I don't think anyone lost anything by it. It was fun. I think we got to see some of the things we like that Heavy Machinery does. They got to play off of the stomach stuff.
Yeah.
That was cool when they did the bear hug and then tossed tossed Dawson, I think it was, and then caught him for another bear hug. That was a cool move.
Yeah.
Very old school, but fun. So I liked the match. I don't think there was anything to really complain about or pick apart too much here.
Yeah.
But I was happy to see Heavy Machinery on TV again.
Yep. I think that was the whole point of this match. Have them on. Yeah, you put Revival over because they've been taking some losses lately or looking like fools lately. So having them do that is great. And then with Heavy Machinery, you get a little exposure and remind people.
Yep.
Because there's so many people. God,
it really is.
There's so many.
I mean, look at the Colognes, the Shining Stars, whatever you want to call them. They're healthy.
Yeah.
Can wrestle, but they're not being used so much that they're back in Puerto Rico doing stuff for their father's promotion, where Epico is now champion of the promotion in another country. Well, not another country, Puerto Rico, but in Puerto Rico. And I was like, what? And they're having a whole feud. Epico and Primo, they're going to wrestle for the first time next month against each other for a title in Puerto Rico. And I'm like, that's crazy that there's these guys are healthy and being paid by WWE right now. Their downside
to chill out,
while also in Puerto Rico building up another company. It's crazy.
Yeah, agreed. What's crazy? When Nakamura gets a mouthpiece. Let's talk about this.
Yeah.
Sami Zayn came out. This is on Miz TV. Nakamura, Sami Zayn, and Miz on there. And this was a shocking development, but it makes sense after Zayn took these recent losses. What do we do with him? This is great, and you say he's Teflon, but what do we do with him?
Clearly, I was wrong.
Yeah, well, maybe wrong, but I don't know if wrong is the right word, but just certainly there was something.
You can take the win on this one.
Okay, I don't know. But it was a concern. I thought
it was you yesterday who said what do they do with him here?
What are they going to do? Yeah. And they did find a way, and I like that this was a heel promo in essence, using the reality of Sami Zayn's humanitarian bent that he has, and he twisted it a little bit and say he wanted to help Nakamura as one of the cases to help, and Nakamura has agreed to the mouthpiece. Now, this has been the biggest complaint, right, with Nakamura, with Asuka, is that people have trouble with them on the mic, hearing them, understanding them, what have you. So do you like this idea that they're using Sami Zayn as a mouthpiece, and does this help Nakamura at all?
If let's say we look at the last time WWE did this and if it helped them, and the answer was no.
Okay.
Because look what they've done with Paige and Asuka.
Yeah.
If it was really, they thought the issue was that she couldn't talk and that they needed someone to talk for, well, they got one.
Yeah.
And then they still didn't do anything with her. Right. So I don't know. I don't think that there was really a large portion of people who were like, Nakamura's mic skills just aren't there. His whole thing's been fun. Yeah. He doesn't need to talk a lot. Right. And when he does, it's weird and kooky, and I like it.
I like when he plays like he can't. No speaky English.
Yeah. Or just in general, I don't think every single wrestler needs to have these long-winded promos in order to be over. Nakamura's over from his whole persona.
Yeah.
And I think that's been one of the things that WWE has never understood, with the main roster at least. That's why they never understood how to use him correctly. Yeah. Because I just don't think, no one goes well, I love Nakamura, but it's just his promos are crap. Right. No one says that. It's he's got this cool thing. He's got this whole unique thing, and as time goes by, they strip him of each little thing. They took away his knee-based offense. They took away they changed his theme song.
Yeah.
Now he can't even do his unique kind of promo work. And Sami Zayn is so beyond being a manager.
Yep.
he has been, regardless if he's been losing, he's been one of the most entertaining parts of the show on both shows since he's been back.
Yeah.
I don't think that he needs that he needs to be moved to being a manager because he's lost a few matches. If you're really that worried about him losing matches, book him to win a few more freaking matches. It's scripted. Yeah. Like, that's my problem is that, like, you know, yes, was the pairing fun? Yeah, it was fun. Yeah. Do I think that they'll have good chemistry together? Yes, I do. Do I think they'll be a cool team together if that happens? Yeah, I do. Do I think that Nakamura having someone do his promos could help? Yeah, it's helped him in the past when he's been in other teams, you know, or when he's been adjacent to other people.
Yeah.
It's just, I just don't think that, like, making these two, like, I don't know, relegating to Sami to being a manager and saying that we don't have faith in Nakamura's promos, because that's essentially what we saw in this segment. To me, that was like a big, like, what? Like, I don't know, man. Yeah. Like, both those guys are awesome. Yeah. You don't need, I don't know. I don't, it didn't make a lot of sense to me, this whole thing.
Does this lead to a face turn for either of them?
I doubt it.
Okay.
I doubt it.
Do you think they're lining?
I thought it was going to lead to Sami going back to NXT. Now that NXT is going to be on USA, when he was doing the whole, like, where do I go now thing, I was thinking, like, maybe they send him back to NXT. They'd had no problem booking him in NXT.
Yeah. And him and Nakamura wasn't
that classic.
Yeah. I think that was Nakamura's first match, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it was incredible.
I was there for that. It was great.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. So maybe this is the route, but I think this is also them trying something out.
It is.
Because they want to get Nakamura over, but I think you're absolutely right, Ryan. They don't know how to do it.
Yes.
They've tried so hard because they don't want to just accept the thing that's looking at them right in the face. Exactly how he is exactly fine. You've just got to figure out how to make that work and keep putting him in the matches and letting him fight incredible 25, 35-minute matches that swing back and forth, and people will get back on board with him.
It would be like a museum being like, God, I wish Andy Warhol would just, like, make something normal and, like, fit in the mold of every other artist. And you're like, no, what makes him special is that he does different stuff, that he has his own vision, that he does all these weird things, that he is a weirdo, you know? That's what makes Nakamura cool.
Exactly.
Is that he's a weirdo. And so, I don't know, I feel like they've slowly been stripping things away from him the whole time he's been on the main roster. And I just think that even being a heel, it's like, yeah, I get it, but why?
Yeah.
People love him. Let him be fun. People used to love that entrance. People used to love his whole thing. And heel Nakamura just doesn't click with me.
Yeah.
I love him. I just mean, like, it's not, I don't think it's the best way to use Nakamura.
Okay. All right, fair enough. All right, let's get to our last situation here, last match, which is the King of the Ring match. This is Elias taking on Kevin Owens. And on the heels of that exchange they had with Shane, he goes into this matchup with Elias, who is, of course, one of Shane's boys. They go at it for a little bit here, and then McMahon rolls into the situation. And just when he's about to do something, reveals that he's a referee, which distracts Owens, and Elias gets the victory. Why? Like, I gotta know why.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Like, it was just like, I don't understand what they are trying to get us invested in.
Yeah.
What are we invested in?
Right.
Like, he already beat Shane.
He already beat him.
And he already beat him. Like, you want him to get his comeuppance on Shane, but he already got it.
And here's the crazy thing. He already beat him, but he still couldn't let it go. The next night he was talking about it and encouraged Shane's wrath, right? And the $100,000 fine, all that. So it was, I don't know, it just seems weird to me all around, like what they're doing with this and him taking the losses. I don't know where they're going with this that's going to be satisfying for the fan.
I'm with you. Yeah. I feel the exact same way about it. I was just like, this is really unsatisfying.
Yeah.
I was just like, I don't get what I'm cheering for here. I'm not cheering for the guy who's sad. I want to see him get. He should be ahead of them. He should be his steps ahead of them. This just doesn't make him cool. The stuff he was doing before was making him look cool.
Yeah.
Then he ended it. He got his win, and now Shane's like trying to get his heat back on Kevin Owens, and you're like, why?
Yeah.
He doesn't need it. Let Kevin Owens have his thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's how I look at it, at least.
No, I think you're right, and that's what's frustrating about it all. And I don't know where this goes. That's
The only thing I see it leading to is him losing now to Shane.
right.
And that's not the
Which
right
will
path.
keep the program going.
Yes. Boo. Also, are you leaving out the weirdest part of the whole show?
Go ahead. Talk about it.
Because it was a running theme throughout the show.
Yeah,
and we didn't
yeah.
have any of these segments in there.
I
But
know.
the whole guy in the hood thing.
Yeah.
First of all, it made me laugh because you go wait, it's similar to last week when they stood there staring at each other. I can't help but when I'm trying to suspend my disbelief, think to myself, so wait, Daniel Bryan discovered in his own PI work, discovered who tried to murder someone.
Right.
And instead of taking this man to the police,
Yeah.
or calling the police or getting the police involved, he kidnapped him
Yeah.
and brought him to
This is
international television show.
Yeah.
And then this man stayed in the room the whole time waiting for them to retrieve him. Now, I get we're obviously going to learn that this man was being held under duress and that
Sure.
that's why he was shaking while sitting there. That clearly they've done something to mess with this guy to make him think that
Right.
that if he leaves, he's in trouble, or takes off, or even takes the hood off his head, he's in trouble. But it was so silly to me, all that stuff. Then when the actual unveiling happens, and it's just this doppelganger Rowan, I laughed, and I don't think that's necessarily the reaction they wanted to elicit.
I don't think they wanted that reaction.
I think it's they wanted to be well, who is this guy? But he's just a guy who looks like Rowan.
This is terrible.
It's not okay. I've enjoyed some of the other aspects of this.
I have not.
You haven't.
Only one Samoa Joe.
I was gonna say the only one you liked was the
that's
car
the
one.
only thing.
This was pretty goofy.
Yeah.
Because once again, I also go. So Roman went. Okay.
Yeah.
And then the camera, what happened after that? This isn't like other cliffhangers where it then fades back up and you get the rest of it.
Well,
so
the thing is,
it's so silly.
You're watching a movie with good actors, and you're like, how can they keep messing this up? That's my opinion. As I'm watching, I'm like, how can they keep making this worse every week with what they're doing? Because it seems like they're making it up on the fly. There's no way, at least in my opinion, if you're going to be considered a good storyteller, that you were from the beginning, you know what we'll do? We'll get Rowan, and then we'll get a look-alike of Rowan. It's who? What? The fans don't give a shit about Rowan? No offense, Rowan's only interesting because he's attached to Bryan. If he went out on his own right now, no one would give a shit. He isn't a mid-Carter guy. No offense if you're going to punch me in the face, but it's the truth. And so, to make him be the guy you're trying to find the doppelganger for makes no effing sense at all.
Yeah, I was, yeah.
The Buddy Murphy thing was clumsy. This is clumsy. The dropping of the thing and then having a picture of Roman, it was clumsy. And the only thing that was good was the Samoa Joe thing. But even that, in a way, got clumsy because you don't know who the hell it was. And
It's it would be like an episode of Scooby-Doo if when they unmasked the person, it would have been a character you hadn't seen the whole episode.
Right,
and
it was the janitor at the
mall.
Store, at the mall.
Yeah, and they're like, but we didn't know who. What?
Right?
That wasn't in the episode.
If you
what?
have to spend more time explaining the ending than the entire movie takes, you messed up.
I loved how many people were. I agree with you in that aspect. That's why I hate the end of Inception, because no one can explain what happened. Anyways, I liked how a lot of people were.
Yeah. It's an ambiguous ending on purpose.
Gotcha, Nolan. I liked how many people on the internet thought that it was maybe Luke Harper, the guy, and that he had shaved his head.
Oh.
No. When they unveiled him, that maybe he shaved his head, and they were like, "That's why you didn't recognize." That was not who it was.
No,
it was just some random guy.
Yeah. When he was shaking, I thought it was some driver that they had kidnapped and put in there.
They clearly kidnapped this person,
right? And I thought it was some driver that was that they're gonna try to convince to take the fall for this and blah blah blah. Now I could give a shit who did it, and I should not be indifferent to someone trying to kill one of your main rosters one of your main stars on the roster. It makes no sense. The big dog in the yard. Someone was trying to euthanize.
Someone's trying to kill a dog and I don't even care.
Now that's bad.
And he's a big dog.
You turned me into Vic. I don't like that. Anyway, do you want to talk about one last thing? What's his name?
Oh, Chad Gable.
Yeah, the Chad Gable stuff with, damn it, I can't think of his name right now. I'm getting old.
Shelton Benjamin.
Shelton Benjamin, that's it.
I mean, it looks like Chad Gable's going to be, I don't know if you guys, if you'd seen or I think I might have talked about it here recently, but where there was that WWE trademarked the name Shorty G. And people thought, like, what's that going to be for? It was the same time they trademarked the OC. They trademarked the OC and Shorty G at the same time. And the OC is now on TV. And everyone's been like, well, who's Shorty G?
Right.
It was around the time Liv Morgan said she was going to, like, leave and come back more serious. And people thought maybe, like, she was going to change her name and she was going to be Shorty G. But
that's
as this stuff
serious.
plays out on TV, I look at the fact that it's Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable who are kind of doing this thing. And Shelton Benjamin's name on Twitter is Shelty B. I bet you it's gonna be Shelty B and Shorty G. They're gonna like reteam them again, and they're gonna do some sort of weird
right.
thing. He's talking too much about being short. They're doing all these short jokes. Shorty G, I feel like he's gonna be the Shorty G, and I'm nervous.
Yeah,
because he's a great talent.
And you'll find out that they were the ones who ran over Reigns.
Shorty G and Shelty B.
And Shelty B. It'll be that boring. All right, that's it. That's our SmackDown Live recap. Anything else you want to hit on it?
I think we got everything there.
Yeah, I think so. We did as well. Thanks, everybody, for watching this episode. Ryan, tell them where they can read, watch, and listen to everything we do.
ProWrestlingSheet.com. That's the website where you can find all the top stories in the world of professional wrestling throughout the week. YouTube.com/C/Wrestling Sheet. That's where you can find all the videos. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like. Make sure you comment. I appreciate it. I respond to some of them. Someone told me I've been looking more skinny on here, so I obviously replied to that guy and said thank you.
I'm just getting heavier, so you look skinnier by comparison.
But if you just want to listen to the audio while you're driving, working out, doing whatever, go subscribe on all the audio podcast platforms. Just search Wrestling Sheet Radio.
Yeah, there you go. You can find me. Find Ryan at Ryan Satin. Find me at The Rocha Says on Twitter and on Instagram. Don't forget all of that stuff. And go read that new post when he puts it up about Alistair Black as well. And we'll see you next week with 2 more episodes of the Raw recap and the SmackDown Live recap on Pro Wrestling Sheet. Take care.
ProWrestlingSheet.com